Welcome back, everyone, to another episode on the Project Nodenium server. Today we are starting off in the tower that we built at the end of the last episode, and we are going to be spending a little bit more time here as I have some very exciting plans that we are going to be working on. And if I'm being honest, it's a little bit ambitious what I have planned for today, so we are going to need to keep on track in order to get everything done. In the last episode, I told you about my plans to use this room and the area below it to be able to do a bunch of different types of farms and other things that we are going to use to be able to build our main base over there. And I've already started the digging process with this massive hole that I dug out. But if we drop down, you can see I have this whole room also all dug out. And I started digging out this room before I figured out what I was going to be putting into it, and I've been busy designing a room that I am super excited about, but it's a little bit bigger than this space. So I'm going to need to do a little bit more digging in order to make it fit. In the room down below, we are going to be doing 10 different builds that are necessary to be able to build our main base. And what are those 10 builds? First up, we are going to do a lava farm, basalt farm, mud farm, honey farm, tree farm, mushroom farm, smelter and bamboo farm, quartz trading, storage room, and stone generator. Now that I think about it, trying to do all 10 of these in one episode may be a bit much, but I definitely want to get the first 5 completed, especially the tree farm. And we are going to need some of these other ones in order to get that far. Before we get into the building, we need to go check the shops over in the shopping district because it's been a little bit and we might have made a few sales and need to get things restocked. Ooh, we made some sales here. There we are. Very nice. Very nice. And more and more. Let's see what we've got over here. Oh, we've been cleared out in this one and this one too. All right. We are going to need to restock that one, and we've sold a few of the skulk veins as well. We need to definitely get some more stocked up, otherwise we're not going to be making sales. It took a little while to gather it all up, but I think we have enough to restock the shop, plus a little bit extra just in case anyone comes and buys me out. With everything restocked at the shop, we are finally ready to get started with building these farms. This room is just a little bit too small for what I want to build, and we are going to need to take out 3 blocks going in that direction, 3 blocks in that direction. The back is going to need to go another 7 blocks, and we are going to have to dig down another 8 blocks. So I need to do some digging. I've finished expanding this room, and you can see these little openings that I've cut out. They are going to be where we are going to put each of the farms. So we have 4 on this side, we have 4 on this side, and today we are going to be focused on this side of the room, although we are going to eventually expand this side as well. The first thing that we need to do is dig out the space for each of these rooms, starting with the hallways. And I think for the hallways, we want it to be about 5 blocks, which we already have 4 here, so it's not going to be very long, just enough to separate it from the main room. Now that we have the hallways dug out, the next thing that we need to do is work on the rooms. But we need to be strategic in how we dig out the rooms because they are not all going to be the same size and are going to be based on the farms that we put in them. So in this one over on the right, we are going to put the lava and basalt farm. We're going to put the mud and bee farm over here on the left. And then in the center, we're going to put the tree farm. Where are you coming from? As I was saying, this room is going to be where we put the tree farm. And because the tree farm is much larger than either of the ones that we are putting over here, we are going to need to make this hallway a little bit deeper to be able to make sure we have enough room to put it in. I finished digging out these rooms, and I even did the room down here, which I wasn't intending to do today, but I realized that I have a bunch of chests up there with all of the materials that I've collected from digging out this area, and I need a place to put them because we are going to need to put in the actual stairs here, and those chests are all in the way. Now that we have the rooms all ready to go, it's time to get started with collecting the materials for all of the farms that we are going to be building. The biggest thing that we are going to need to collect is redstone related materials because this is all I have and we are going to need way more than what is in here. To craft up some of the materials we are going to be using, we need some iron. So we are going to get 3 stacks of iron blocks, which are 1 diamond per stack. Except that, now that I check, I already have a bunch of iron here. Oh well, can you ever end up with too much of a single resource? I don't think so. We are here in the swamp because I need to get a few slime blocks, and this may be the best way to do it. Hopefully. We have a bunch over here. This is great. Hello, my friends. Whoa, no. Oh. All right, well, this is gonna be okay. It could be worse. It's probably getting worse. Oh, it's getting worse, that's for sure. I don't want to die to slime. Oh no. We have some more here. You're not actually in the swamp. What are you doing out here? Let's get back in there. Come on, let's go. Oh, skeleton, you are not helping things right now. Leave me alone. All right. Oh boy, and zombies too now. No. So I forgot to set my spawn point in the swamp, which means that we need to hurry and get over there before all of my items despawn. All right, looks like we made it in time. I was getting really worried that we weren't going to get here before everything despawned, and I would have lost all of my good stuff, which would not be good. So last time it was a nice clear night. Now we've got a thunderstorm going, and hopefully we will get a few more slime to spawn in, because we just need a few more in order to get enough. Well, it was a little bit of a disaster at the end, but I ended up getting all of the slime blocks that I need, which is good, and we can get out of here and move on to the next part, which will be crafting up a bunch of pistons and turning some of those pistons into sticky pistons. We also will need to make a few furnaces, some observers, a couple of droppers, as well as some dispensers. I'll also craft up a couple of hoppers, some repeaters, along with a few comparators. We will also need a few target blocks. And after all of that crafting, here is everything that we have as far as redstone goes. And now it's time to get some of the other blocks that we will use in the build. Those blocks will include some dark oak, spruce wood, a couple smithing tables, black stained glass panes, even more black stained glass panes, black concrete, and we'll need 5 stacks of these. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 diamonds. We are also going to need some smooth basalt. We will need to smelt up some smooth stone so that we can craft some blast furnaces. I also don't want to forget to grab the lanterns as well as a couple of lava buckets. We should also craft up about 12 cauldrons. We are also going to need some brown terracotta, and let's see how much is in here. We've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got 15 diamonds, so we should have 1 left over, and that should be good. I think I'm going to get some regular terracotta as well, just in case. I don't want to run out while we're building. And the last item we are going to need to collect is some deep slate. Now that I finished gathering everything up, it's time to start building the farms. The first farm we are going to build is a basalt farm. I've got everything set up for the basalt generator, and let's give it a test to see if it's working. So we turn this on, got those pistons going. We don't have the sticky pistons coming down to pick up the basalt. I'm not sure where the issue is. Let me check. I think I figured out what it is. This signal is not reaching the pistons, so we need to put a repeater in. And where are my repeaters? There we go. Break that. Place the repeater there, and it should now work. Yes, we've got the basalt coming through, and just break that nice and quick, and we'll be able to get plenty of basalt this way. The next farm we are going to build is going to be a lava farm, and for that we are going to place down cauldrons over here. We're going to have 5 on this side. We're going to place down 5 over on this side. Then we are going to place a row of blocks along here, just like this, and do the same thing over on this side. We then need to add some dripstone underneath, and the last step will be to place a lava source block above each of these, and I have a bunch of lava here, but before we can do that, we need to build up the rest of this room. For the floor, we are going to take some polished basalt and run it along just like this. Then we are going to place some deep slate blocks on the floor and add in some of these basalt blocks to just break up the textures from the deep slate. The walls are going to be made out of a combination of stripped dark oak logs and brown terracotta. For the ceiling, we are going to use spruce logs, which we'll fill in using deep slate tiles, and finish off by lighting it up with several lanterns. The last thing that we need to do is add the lava above all of the blocks, and we're going to place it here. Now, you might be wondering why I'm placing lava next to this dark oak, and the reason we can do that is because in this server, we have the fire tick turned off, so these won't catch fire. And we now have the completed room with our basalt generator and then our lava farm. And the lava will be good because I don't use it very often, but if I ever need it, I won't have to go searching for a lava lake anymore. Next up, we are going to be building a tree farm. This tree farm is designed by Dusty Dude, and I have included a link to his video in the description down below. Definitely check it out because he explains how to build it. We have tree farm all built up and ready to go. Now, one change that I made from the design by Dusty Dude is that rather than using a TNT duper, I have this wall of pistons that when the logs come out, they will just be pushed across, and then this is what's going to trigger all of these pistons. And then once the pistons have pushed the logs all the way down here, the farm will shut off and I can come through and chop all the logs down. But with the farm all built up, it's time to get this room decorated. With the room all decorated up, it's time to move on to our next farms, which will be the bee farm and the mud farm. So we are going to be putting in the mud farm over here and the bee farm over here. And the mud farm is going to be based on a design by El Mango, and the bee farm is going to be based on a design by Pixel Riffs. And if you would like to check out those videos, they will be linked in the description down below. Got the bee farm and the mud farm built, but there are two items that they are missing. The bee farm doesn't have the hives yet because the bees have not been cooperating, and I still need to get a few more before they can be placed. Over on the mud farm, we need to get a bunch of glass bottles at some point to be able to make it functioning, but it's actually built and ready to go once we get the bottle. We just need to make this room look like the other rooms, and then we can move on to the last part, which will be the storage room. And this room is complete. I think I missed something when I dug this room out. For now, we are going to keep the storage room simple because the primary purpose is to just get the items in the chests up there down so that we can get this staircase built. And everything is now moved down. So I think it's time to get this main room all built up. And just like that, we have finished this room, except for a few little minor details, like putting in the farms along this wall. I just blocked up the doorways with some stone bricks for now. We should also probably put a staircase in here because that's a long ways to go without one. But that will have to wait for another day because we have already spent a lot of time on this project. When I was designing these pillars, I went with the green fog lights because I thought that they would match the sculk blocks the best. But if we turn the shaders on, the green frog lights put off this green glow, and it kind of reminds me of an evil lair. Yep, it's definitely given off an evil lair vibe. But with that troubling discovery, I think that's where we are going to end today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And until next time, see you later.